Alright everyone, I thought I'd weigh in on the Kathy Griffin bullshit, which is especially unfunny because of the time of night I find myself having to make a fucking video on the topic. Usually, like, third-rate comedians aren't the subject of videos. Like, I prefer to talk about people who actually have some significance. But it's, what she did was kind of attention whoring when you think about it. You know, holding up, like, a fake Trump head and, you know, stuff like that. It's obviously meant to evoke an emotional response. Now, on the first token, it's certainly protected speech. It's a form of satire. It literally is performance art. You know, art so-called, but, you know, people don't get to determine what others can and cannot call art, which is sometimes a bad thing, and overall, it works. Postmodern art aside, maybe. But going after the places that want to have her in for a comedy tour, if you can call it comedy, or her performance art skits, or whatever the hell she's going to build them as, yeah, that's perfectly fine. The left did it to Sean Hannity not that long ago. They do it all the time. And can you imagine, here's the other layers of the hypocrisy. Can you fucking imagine how much people's heads would have imploded if somebody had done this during Obama's presidency? Oh my god, they would have absolutely had a total mental breakdown. It would have been front page news. Every corporate media from, oh, grave disrespect. We disown. You know, are people at, like, Salon and BuzzFeed and all these other, like, you know, leftists and neoliberals and partisans, are they going to immediately say they disavow this imagery? They apologize on her behalf. They disavow her? Because I want to hear that CNN and MSNBC and Salon and Being Liberal and BuzzFeed and Vox and the Young Turks, I want to hear them specifically. I want every pundit on these networks to disavow Kathy Griffin's imagery. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that they agree with, you know, killing the President of the United States or something, and I think they should probably be hauled in for questioning by the Secret Service, too. I'm being tongue-in-cheek. You know, this is funnier than anything Kathy Griffin's going to say anyway, or do. Maybe she'll piss on the floor or something, say, please, you know, hire me back. So, yeah, she's going to lose a lot of money. It's going to be funny. I don't really like the idea of attacking advertisers for people who make objectionable content or comments or something like that. And when they attacked Sean Hannity, I chuckled about it and said, well, you know, it's deserving. Fox News fucking sucks. They're corporate legacy media. If they die off, it doesn't bother me. In fact, it makes me roar with laughter. I'm happy about that fact. But doing that, like, it gets exported to the net. We saw it with PewDiePie. We saw it with John Tron. We've seen it before. It happens to people who are like alt media or not even part of that. They're just entertainers. It's happening to Kathy Griffin. What she created, though, she had to have known that this kind of outcry would occur. I mean, do you have no common sense at all? You thought that this was going to go over smoothly. Oh, yeah, I'll just hold up the fake Trump head, the severed head, and slap this on the internet. And nobody will say anything about it. I guess maybe she thought she was too, you know, sub-C list, so nobody would notice or something like that. She'd get a cheap chuckle out of her 10 followers or something like that, and everyone would leave it at that level and nobody would fucking care or something. Now, meanwhile, Salon, they put out an article saying, oh, this is certainly objectionable, it's certainly regrettable, it shows a lack of restraint, but the manic right is going to turn this into a bigger thing than it is. Again, can you imagine if Obama were the president and somebody did this and called it performance art? I can remember when some people on Halloween, back during the Obama admin, I can remember when they hung Obama effigies from their trees, and it wasn't really like a lynching scene or anything. It was literally, it was basically an Obama fucking piñata or something like that. They got investigated too, and people really didn't like it. I think it was in Virginia, somebody had a float, like a parade float, if I remember correctly, that sort of disrespected Obama. And everyone had a big problem, and they kicked him out of the parade, and that had nothing to do with, like, violent imagery. It was just, I think it was Obama, I think with his pants down or something, sort of mooning the crowd, something along those lines. And people had a huge problem with that. Now they're going to pretend, those same people that want to be all moral policing and PC and don't disrespect the politicians because they deserve respect for some fucking retarded reason that nobody can possibly fathom. They'll say, oh, this is okay. It's performance art. It's protected speech. Well, yeah, you morons. It was protected speech when Obama was the president, too. That escaped your notice. And I have to sit here and in administration after administration, I'll probably be doing this till I look like a literal Gandalf, till I'm in my fucking 70s or 80s, pointing out the fact that it's protected speech. Yeah, it is. That doesn't mean that the Secret Service won't show up to talk to her, though, by the way. And if you want to attack these groups that are working with her, like casinos or motels or, you know, wherever she does her tours or, you know, I don't even know if it's supposed to be strictly comedy or if it's just performance art or satire. Who knows and who cares? You know, nobody. You know, I never knew who Kathy Griffin was. And I still don't care to know anything additional about her, other than that she's a marketing moron and doesn't know how to take care of her own branding image, I guess. She comes out and does this crap. Yeah, she's going to get, these groups are going to be petitioned by potentially millions of people to drop her shows. She's probably going to lose millions of dollars off this. Good. Kind of deserves it. Yeah. Sean Hannity did too. I mean, it's funny. It's a regrettable tactic sometimes that serves a good purpose, I suppose. My big issue is with aiming it at people who ultimately they're like alt personalities. They don't go up on stage every day and they're not trying to be specifically a public figure in the real world. They're not a politician or a news pundit or something like that. They're not working for some corporation. This is a private individual that, you know, makes videos with a webcam, or they have a Twitter account or something. I think there's a bit of a difference in my mind between the two. The latter's more honest, usually funnier. Yeah, there's a million people on YouTube funnier than Kathy Griffin. Just to research anything random under the sun, scroll through the videos, you'll find something funnier than the clips that I saw of her. Same goes for Lena Dunham, who's also an idiot at marketing herself. She thinks that sitting there naked and hideous eating a cake, I guess, is a good way to attract followers. I don't think so. I don't think it quite works that way. Yeah, those are my thoughts about Kathy Griffin. Who cares? And it is performance art. It's just really, really shitty performance art that's going to lose her a hell of a lot of money. Great. It's going to be funny to watch her melt down. She's already apologized. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Well, you should have thought about that before you did it. Before you made this little skit. That's when you should have thought about such a thing. Oh, am I going to have to apologize for this? Let me guess. People aren't going to be offended at all at my imagery here. They're certainly not going to call for businesses to boycott me and keep me from performing so that I can't make any money. The internet won't be... I won't go trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. It'll never happen to me because I'm a C-lister, you know, whatever she is. That's about all. Peace out.